Go.
So our topic is on funeral homes that are corrupt. My name is Jennifer.
My name is Emilio. So as you can see in this picture, the hand is manipulating the puppet to do whatever it wants. So funeral homes are corrupt because they take advantage of people by comforting them enough to be able to take large amounts of money out of their pocket when they're in a situation of need.
Good business model.
So the convincing strategy.
Many funeral home employees persuade people with certain strategies that they learn through their training so that they could have customers pay more money.
So in this picture, you guys can see how the guy is like showing the contract, and he's trying to get them to sign the contract so that they could get his funeral, because he's like saying like we have better funeral services than other ones, and we can give you a discount if you add this and that and whatnot. And he's just trying to convince people to go to that funeral so that they won't go to another one. Of course, funeral homes are going to be expensive, but as you guys can see in this graph, from 2012 to 2015, the prices have went up about 3,000 times, and each 5 years they keep on going even higher. So by 2030, the prices will be up to almost 20,000. And in this graph, you guys can also see how over the years it has really went up for the cremation rates.
So, overthinking and double thinking. So, some people might not know the cost of funeral home services. So, once they get that big number, they might overthink and double think it, because they might say, oh, maybe other funeral homes have cheaper prices. But in reality, they don't, because they always try to get as much money out of you that they can. So,
and it's always better to get, sometimes it is better to get funeral arrangements like ahead of time, because the prices have been going up a lot.
So in this chart, this is like prices for different cities. And as you can see, they all differ, because when you go apply for funeral home services, they ask you for your income. So if they see that you have a large income, then they will charge you straight up. But if they see that you don't really have money like that, then they'll offer you credit, which in the long run will be even more money, because they'll give you a payment plan which will have a high interest rate.
This also relates to redlining, because redlining is when someone is not able to get services because of the low income area they're from, so they can't get a loan or insurance. And when funeral homes offer you credit or interest rates, you're not able to get it because of the low income area that you live in.
So, as you can see here, these are some of the fees that come with the funeral home services. For example, like average cost of funeral, $6,560. Non-declinable basic service fee, $1,817. Embalming, $628. Other preparations of the body, $200. Use of facility staff for viewing, $395. Use of a hearse, $275. Basic memorial printed package, $125. Use of a service car or van, $125. Removal or transfer of remains from funeral home, $225. Average cost of metal casket, $2,295. Use of facilities or staff for funeral ceremony, $450. So what funeral homes do is that they don't always include all of these prices in the contract. So they put them as hidden fees, so the person won't know what they're paying. And since the person is in a situation of need at a desperate time, they won't even read the whole contract because they need it ASAP. So they'll just put their signature on it, and over time they'll realize that all of these fees are included in that whole price.
So, funeral home being corrupt and taking advantage of people at the lowest becomes unfair and stressful because they leave people thinking about how they're going to afford the funeral services. So, they have to think about the money situation they are in instead of thinking about their loved one that they lost. So, controversial incidents.
So my incident was a funeral home in Arkansas. One of the workers that was there created a meth lab in the basement, and the other over time, the police started getting suspicious because it was across the street, and they would see that the basement light was always on at night, and they said, "Why was the basement light always on?" So they got a warrant, and they went inside the place, and they started talking to the workers, saying, "Why do you guys have a meth lab in a funeral home?" And what the workers said was that they didn't really care because everybody that was in the funeral home was dead, so they let the guy do whatever he wanted, and that just shows how corrupt some funeral homes could be.
So in my incident, there were two men who were donating body parts to a New York donation place, and they were supposed to get the body parts tested, but they didn't. And to whoever they sold the body parts to could get HIV, cancer, or any other disease. And this shows that funeral homes are not careful of handling body parts at all times. So necrophilia. This is a concept that has to do with funeral homes that isn't really known about or touched upon.
So necrophilia is a sexual attraction for sexual intercourse with dead bodies. It's an irresistible sexual attraction to dead bodies. So incidents of necrophilia have been noted to occur throughout history, and it is discovered that a lot of embalmers in funeral homes have sexual intercourse with dead bodies. So these are cases of necrophilia.
And as you can see, these are pictures of people who have a desire with dead bodies. On February 4th, 2015, there was a morgue worker who claimed that necrophilia was a part of the job, and they had to do it so that they can make sure that they preparate the body good.
So in Egypt, since men are used to having a lot of wives, they would still want to have sexual intercourse with a dead wife after they were, after they passed away. So they fought for it, and they are legally able to have sex with their wife 6 hours after they die. So they can have sex with them for 6 hours after they die. So solutions. My solution personally is for people to know about these things, because most people do not know about how pricey funeral home costs could be, and they should get life insurance that will help them pay most of the cost when they need it.
Some other solutions are more supervision, or for the funeral industry to have more inspections so that they can see how the funeral homes are doing. There should be stricter regulations, and instead of being for profit and taking money from people, they should instead have fundraisers or donations.
This is our work site.